All right, we're winding down 2020, the craziest year that any of us have lived through. And as photographers, we're just kind of here like, what just happened? How do we make sense? How do we process this whole thing? Well, grab yourself a cup of hot cocoa, cozy up, put some booze in it if you feel like you need it to get through. We're gonna try and make sense of this whole year together. Now, I don't think I was the only one who felt like at times this year they were just kind of going crazy, at least I hope not. But as photographers, we already exist in this crazy world to begin with, right? We are always traveling, we kind of have this weird all over the place schedule, we ride this roller coaster of emotions from gig to gig and job to job. We never really know what's gonna come next. Now you add in a global pandemic on top of all that, and everything that we thought we knew kind of just went completely out the window. But I do want to turn you guys on to a couple things that have come out to help you kind of make a little bit of sense of this year and give you a little bit of optimism and hope for 2021. And these are two items from PHOTOSHELTER. For those of you who don't know, PHOTOSHELTER is this really awesome service that I've been using for a really long time now and so many other photographers use across the industry. It's basically your all-in-one go-to storage for all of your photo needs. It's got this awesome back-end archiving system that lets you access your archives from anywhere you are when you're on the go, and everything you put in there can be fully searchable at the type of a few keywords. They also offer really nice templates for websites if you're looking to put all of your work together into a sophisticated, polished new website. Now, we've been using PHOTOSHELTER at the Red Sox as our official archive and content management system for years, and I use it for my personal, commercial, and editorial work as well. So definitely highly recommend you checking them out. And so at the end of the year, PHOTOSHELTER always puts together these really cool resources, kind of recapping the year, really cool things that are really useful for photographers. And the first one I want you guys to check out is their holiday gift guide. Now, the cool thing about this guide is it's put together by photographers for photographers. So you know everything that you're gonna find in this guide is super legit. And this year, with budgets maybe being a little tighter than usual, they've kept everything to under $500, which I think is really cool. Definitely worth checking out if you're looking for some last minute gifts, either for someone else or if you want to give yourself a little treat. I think it's always really important to be in the know with what kind of latest gear is out in the market available to you. It's good to keep up with this stuff. So I've got the link down below for you guys. It's totally free, so make sure you check it out. Now, the second piece is really cool and more on the lines of what I was talking about before. It is their photographer's outlook on 2021. And basically this is an all-encompassing report, an all-encompassing summation of the year that was 2020 in relation to photography, and an outlook on where things are gonna go in 2021. So they interviewed over 1,000 photographers, which I think is really cool, you know, about their experiences, their successes, obstacles, failures, challenges from 2020. They learned a ton and they put it all together into this guide. Now, I'm not gonna spoil you with everything that's in here, so I am posting the link down below. Again, it's totally free, so make sure you sign up to get your copy. In both of these items, you may even find a little guest appearance by yours truly. So again, I'm not gonna spoil everything that's in there, but I am gonna go over a few key points, a few key takeaways that I found from the report, and also share some thoughts on where I see things going in the next year in relation to photography. When you look at the word connection, it kind of takes on a whole new meaning given this current landscape, this current situation that we're in. Right now, as photographers, it is more important than ever to make sure that we are connecting with others on a day-to-day basis. You know, organizations that deal with photography or independent photographers are really under a lot of pressure because they're expected to produce the high quality, same results that they've been doing in the past, but under completely different circumstances, under completely different ways of operating. I mean, I know personally this is true, just having looked back at this past Red Sox season, it was completely different. You know, we lost half of our staff, we had severe limitations on access and what we were able to do, yet the expectation is still there to deliver high quality results. So without a lot of these things happening that we're used to, these in-person events, the processes that we're used to having in place, we need to do everything we can as photographers to connect in order to build new opportunities for ourselves. So that means being proactive with the networking, going to the online events. reaching out to new clients or potential new clients and keeping in touch with the old ones, making sure your website is up to date, making sure your marketing and your social media is doing a good job of putting your name out there and getting it out into the world. It's not going to happen itself right now with everybody so isolated at home. And so whatever we can do to really be proactive about connecting with others, maintaining those relationships, I think will be beneficial to us as photographers. So put yourself out there, make sure you stay relevant, make sure you stay visible, and make sure you're connecting to the people that you need to connect with in order to help grow your business. Definitely not a scientist, but everyone's talking in 2020 about trusting the data, trusting the numbers, trusting the science. And I think this can be applied to photography as well. I think it's really important for us to take an open, honest look at the market, look at the numbers, and look at the business that we're in right now. And if you can take a look at those numbers and take away some key points, some key information, I think it'll help us all moving forward with our business. Check out this slide, which is in the Outlook guide. So according to the survey that they did, 50%, that's half of us, half of photographers out there experienced less work over the course of 2020 due to the pandemic. Now, this is a startling number, and going down the line here, it kind of continues. 25% experienced no work at all in relation to the pandemic. Only a few of us, 10, 11%, really experienced no change, and you can see you even have some people leaving photography as a whole. And then you move to the second slide. This one's super interesting. So among full-time photographers, people who are doing photography full-time, half of us, 49%, did seek out an alternative revenue opportunity non-related to photography in 2020. That's crazy. Half of us who were depending on photography full-time for their income had to look elsewhere for additional sources of revenue. And if you look into 2021, 88% of people surveyed say that trend will continue. They're going to need to continue to seek out new and different opportunities moving on in 2021. So this is the point where you start to grab a little bit more booze and put it in your hot chocolate. I mean, are the numbers grim? Absolutely. This is not something that's fun to look at on these slides, but I think there is a takeaway, a silver lining in all of this. And for me, that takeaway is that you're not alone. If this is something that you've been experiencing or going through or having anxiety or stress about, it's not something that is unique to you. This is happening all across the industry of photography, no matter what type of photographer you are. It's not anything that we're doing individually, it's something that's happening industry-wide. So I think if we can take an open and honest look at these numbers, face the numbers for what they are, accept them for what they are, then we can begin to put that behind us and just think about what we need to do to kind of correct and rectify the situation moving ahead in the months to come and the year to come in 2021. So don't get too bogged down by these numbers, but just accept that they are there. This is something that's happening across the whole industry. More than most industries, photographers are always required to really change and really evolve over the course of their career, over the course of time. I think that's great because that's kind of how we're wired as creatives. We always want to try new things and try different things, but it can be a challenge to kind of make sure you're always keeping up with the new changes in technology, in content, in needs for photography. So the last slide I showed you had bad news. I think this slide, on the other hand, is really great news. I love this slide from the Outlook. So you can see here, a bunch of us tried something new this year. Maybe we got more into portrait photography, or we tried to produce more commercial work. It doesn't really matter what type of photography you try to get into, but the point is, it's super important to get out there and try new things. This has always been the case for photographers, but I think now is especially important. I always tell young photographers, make sure you are always expanding your skill set. Make sure you don't become static in the one thing that you've learned how to do or the couple things that you know how to do. You always want to grow, you always want to evolve, and I think right now, given that we have a little bit more time, we're a little bit more at home, we can try new things, we can expand our skill set and move into different areas of photography that we haven't worked in the past. This is something I've been trying to work on over the course of 2020, and I'm excited to push ahead in 2021. So take encouragement from this slide. There's always time to try new things, and it definitely benefits you moving into the new year ahead with your career. Now, this is super important. I think the photo industry as a whole needs to do a better job of embracing our diversity and celebrating our photographers of different backgrounds, different walks of life. You know, there's so much incredible talent out there in all kinds of different communities and backgrounds. But I think for us as individuals who are hiring or people who are looking to grow and nurture new talent, it's easy for us to just get caught up in the communities that we already know, in the circles that we already know. And I think we need to do a better job of reaching out of those immediate circles and finding people in networks, in communities that we normally wouldn't be looking in. So yes, the high profile photo programs, the high pedigree photo schools, and the high profile photo internships are super important, and they will continue to play a very, very important role in our industry as a whole. But I also think we really have to keep in mind that not everybody has access to those resources. Not everyone has the resources to get themselves into those positions in order to be successful. But there are a lot of people who don't have that access, who don't have those resources, who have a lot of natural raw talent. So we just need to make sure we're casting a wider net and making sure we're finding talent across the board, not just in the networks we have or we know. I think as companies, as sports teams, as photo institutions, we need to do better. And also as independent photographers, we need to do more in this regard. And this guide actually has some really cool insight from some really great people in relation to that. I gotta end it with a little bit of optimism, because I think optimism is key to the whole situation. So here's the deal. We will bounce back from this and things will get better for photographers and just in general. So obviously we went through this wild ride of 2020, but I do think things are gonna get better on the horizon. Now it may take 3 months, it may take 6 months. We may even go through the entire calendar year of 2021, kind of in a similar state to what we are now. But I do think when this is finally officially over, things will bounce back, and my prediction is they will bounce back in a big, big way for photographers. I think markets are really going to open up, and there's going to be more of a need for great imagery across the board than ever before. I think we're gonna kind of hit this new renaissance or this new wave or golden era of photography. So I think that's on the horizon. We just have to stay patient, stay calm, stay relaxed, take this tidbits of information and use it moving forward. Get ready to work really, really hard in 2021, and I think good things will happen for us. So get out there, make sure you're making it happen for yourself, and I really appreciate your guys' support throughout this entire year. It's been a wild ride, just in general and also here on this channel, but it's been awesome to have you guys following along. I appreciate you guys more than you know. So if you like what you see and you want to see more in 2021, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Tell me about your year. Was it great? Was it terrible? Was it something in the middle? What are your plans for 2021 when it comes to your photography career? I want to hear from you guys. I love hearing about this stuff. So remember, we're going to get through it together. Enjoy the holidays and Happy New Year. We'll see you on the next side.